Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're discussing Canelo versus Terrance Crawford. Is it a viable matchup? Could it happen? Let's get to the video. Welcome back, guys. So, in a recent interview, they again, of course, asked Canelo, Crawford has expressed fighting you. What do you think? Is that a viable matchup? Is that something that can happen? And I've seen some videos insinuating sort of that Canelo's kind of ducking now Terrance Crawford. But in the video, if you really listen to what Canelo's saying, he never ducked him at all. Actually, what he did was took shots at his resume, right? He basically said that, Terrance Crawford, while he knows he's a great fighter, that Terrance is a great fighter, if you look at his resume, he really doesn't have anyone but that one other guy, which is Spence, right? And he said, and he admitted, he made it look easy. He made it look fantastic. And he loves, and he really likes Terrance. And he said he always picked Terrance. I think he said this in other interviews. He's always picked Terrance against Errol. Because he just knew that Spence was that, Errol was that guy. Crawford was that guy, right? And if you go, of course, resume for resume, and I think, not sure, they're close in age. If you look at the resume, if you compare it to Canelo's resume, whether you think or not some of those guys in Canelo's resume were over the hill or not, it's almost probably one of the best resumes, ever, right? I'm not saying it's the best. I'm just saying, look at the names, and when he fought them, they were either in their prime, about to reach it, or just slightly over. Whereas Terrance, Postal was not a great fighter. Is not a great fighter. Gamboa, he said, was his toughest fight. I think Gamboa might have been in his prime at that point. So, he gets credit for Gamboa. But what did Gamboa do afterwards, right? Almost he was exposed, right? Or is it like, Tarver said about Roy, when they said Roy was shot? Well, I shot him, right? So maybe he shot Gamboa, right? Could have been. But he didn't do anything after that. Mean Machine hasn't done much. He's a viable fighter. Mean Machine is like that stepping stone guy. He is a guard to the next level, right? So it's not a walk in the park, and as such, he did put Terrance to the canvas. Not the same way that he put Errol to the canvas, but he didn't make him touch the ground, right? But yeah, resume for resume, of course, they don't have the same resume, right? So he's kind of alluding to the fact that he's not looking at it because he's looking at it to make great fights. I guess what he's saying is, if in another fight or two, Terrance pulls off some great wins with great fighters, and if he wants to come to 168, he'll take that challenge on. Because he said he left it open-ended. You never know, So I think what he means is, for us to make the most money, you have to beat Errol in the rematch, again in the same fashion, beat someone else, right? Maybe, he'll fight Gennady. Gennady's over the hill, right? Almost, pretty much. Can't be the same Gennady, right? Or somebody at 160 that is viable, or at 168 that is like, oh, that guy. And then Canelo, right? Then you have like $1 million pay-per-view event. You have, million buys pay-per-view event. You have, close to that. You have a lot of money involved. So I think that's what Canelo's alluding to, what I was saying, being as upfront and blunt as other people have been in the past, right? Like, hey, do this before you get to me. I think he's just going around in that way. I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a great fight. Hey, people say it's too much. Hey, it wasn't too much for Roy Jones from 168, from 175, and then he went right to heavyweight. And then, he made Ruiz, who nobody, I don't care who you were, didn't make Ruiz look easy. He made Ruiz look easy. So it could happen the same way. So anyway, put your comments and thoughts below. Let me know what you think about Canelo versus Crawford. Is it a potential fight? Could it happen? Could it get spoiled along the way by someone else? Who do you think will be that spoiler? Let me know in the comments below. See you in the next one.